What is going on, everybody? It is a beautiful night out here in Cranberry, New Jersey. My name is Vincent Maletti, and I am the founder, owner, partner, everything, principal, Mac Daddy of Maletti Law, the law office of Vincent Maletti. The website is www.malettilaw.com, www.malettilaw.com. It is a late day. We've been working all day nonstop because we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have no chill here at Maletti Law. Number one, scroll down a little bit on the YouTube channel. That red button that says subscribe to this channel. I would like to get a couple more subscribers so we can actually do some cool things on this channel. This is again, trying to do these quicker videos. Sorry, I go a very long time. This is actually pretty exciting to me because what I'm about to discuss now really resolves a lot of issues that I've had in the past with that my clients have had concerns with. Long story short, if you're an attorney, if you've practiced, if you're a 1L, whatever the case is, you know the American rule when it comes to contracts. The American rule when it comes to contracts is every single person is responsible for their own attorney's fees when it comes to a contract. You sue somebody for contract damages. The American rule is you're responsible for your own fees. I think like the European rule is the prevailing party. You could always contract around it, but generally speaking, you're responsible for your own fees. That's how it is in the American rule. Now, this was exciting. So, as you all know, we had the scamdemic going on in 2020, and the most valuable MVP employee of all moving companies is Emperor Cuomo. No one has caused more people to leave New York City and travel outside of state than Emperor Cuomo. So what happens is you have a lot of moving companies. Moving companies do a real crap job. They do a real shitty job at moving stuff. For the most part, these companies are run by just scam artists. I mean, it's been like that for an eternity. If you are a resident of New York, you likely have been victim to either a carpet cleaner, or B, a moving company. They have scammed you at some point in time. All right, so moving company takes your products, moves to another state. It now goes over state lines, right? It goes through, you're in New York. You, like 99.9999% of everybody that lives in New York that moved, you probably want to move to Florida. You move yourself to Florida. You call, some multiple of the letter A moving company. It could be AA, a moving company. They love the letter A because, in the yellow pages, well, back then when we had yellow pages, paper moved up to the top very quickly because alphabetical order. So, A's were the way to go. So everything was A's. That old habits die hard. So now you're across state lines, and they damage your stuff, and what do you want to do? You got to sue, right? So you sue for breach of contract, you sue for whatever, breach of duty. You have all you sue for consumer affairs, consumer fraud, deceptive acts, blah blah blah. You sue for a whole bunch of stuff, right? When it comes, when you sue for the deceptive acts, you're suing on a consumer. Department of Consumer Affairs, generally they don't want to get involved in terms of damages. They just want to enforce a law. So your best bet is probably going to be breach of contract. But see, here's an interesting caveat now. Now that you're going across state lines, you're introduced to the Carmack Act, the Carmack Amendment, Carmack. So what is this, right? So this is a federal law. Federal law applies because it's going across state lines, going from New York, New Jersey, Virginia, whatever, right? So this is a federal law, and it applies to transportation of cargo by rail, transportation of cargo by truck over state lines. So you hire this moving company. Moving company comes in, it takes your stuff, brings it from New York to Florida. On the way down, it loses all of it, or it winds up smashing all of it, damaging all of it. Now you have a legitimate cause of action under the Carmack Amendment. So the Carmack Amendment was kind of like, due to the expansion of the federal roads, the kind of expansion of the country. You have the internet. The country's becoming more like people falling back and forth between the borders much more easier. So due to this federal expansion, this is life expansion of human beings, the federal government gets involved in law when it comes going across state lines, and this is one of them. So what this was designed to do, Congress enacted the Carmack Amendment because what it was looking to do was looking to create some kind of national scheme for carrier liability for goods and products damaged in transit, right? Whether it be brand new goods and products, goods you've purchased, some might have delivered, or goods in your house that you've paid some people to move, put on a truck, and take it with you. So any kind of shipments that go across state lines are are applicable to the Carmack Amendment. So the Carmack Amendment also provides for some kind of strict liability. So you all know, so strict liability means any party involved on the chain of liability, on like the chain of control, any party involved in there could be strictly liable for the remainder, right? So let's say, you usually see this in products liability. So I buy a flashlight. I buy a flashlight from Company A. Company A is just a retailer, buys it from the wholesaler at Company B. The wholesaler buys it from the manufacturer, Company C. I can sue Company A, B, C under strict liability if I get hurt, and then at that point, companies A, B, C fight each other. They fight it out amongst each other. So that's strict liability. Anyone along the chain of commerce is responsible for all the damages as a whole. So the question is, how could you? And it's actually very easy to do, right? So there's something called prima facie, right? On its face, it's Latin. Attorneys will speak Latin. Our English is a disaster, but our Latin maybe is we have some serious Latin game, I guess. So in order to establish what's known as a prima facie case, which is what's needed on its face, prima facie, which is what's needed to get into the courtroom, you have to establish 4 elements. 1, that the goods in question were in suitable condition when provided to the carrier. B, that the goods were lost, damaged, or destroyed during delivery while it was in the carrier's possession. 3, damages were reasonably foreseeable. And 4, you have these objective monetary damages. You know how to price them. You know what those figures are, what those numbers are. You have a table that's worth $300. You know that's an objective $300 table and damages, right? So those are your 4 elements. The goods were in suitable condition before they were handed off. The goods were lost, damaged, destroyed during delivery or during the carrier's possession. Damages are reasonably foreseeable, and you have objective monetary damages. So, okay, now this not only applies to just simply the carrier, this also applies to, it goes down the stream, right? So if a third party introduced you to the particular carrier, or if some kind of third party kind of controlled the discussions and the discourse between the parties, they could be held, responsible as well. My notes show that, I've, working on the research on this, I've seen, the delivering carrier, the receiving carrier, the intermediary between the carriers. I've seen instances where the broker's been pressed. So it's a very broad statute that you could jump on a lot of people. There are very few defenses. There are very few absolute defenses to a Carmack claim. The defenses, I believe I had pointed out 5 of them. I think I got from the case law. It was something about the acts of the shipper. If the shipper did a very poor job at packaging the product, or if the shipper did something negligent or making them culpable, an act of God. I don't know, the truck is driving and lightning strikes. It's probably pretty unusual, right? Something public enemy of the government attacks the truck. Sounds stupid, but this is what I'm seeing in statutes and case law. I don't know. The truck is driving down I-95. It's going from California to Florida, and for whatever reason, Al-Qaeda decides they're going to drive a plane into your truck. So, all right, fine. It's okay. I'm willing to take that risk. I won't have no one to sue. Public authorities, maybe the government comes in and confiscates the truck. That's probably another thing. Or just inherent vice of the commodity. So let's say, for instance, we're sending I don't know, good things that naturally spoil, maybe fruits, right? So if you're packaging all your stuff from your house from New York to Florida, and you get your food in your fridge, oh man, I really want those strawberries, and you put the strawberries in the truck and the trucks go bad, you don't have a Carmack claim, you're an idiot. So let's keep that in mind. So things that are inherently gonna fall apart, you probably can't recover on that. Just real quickly, so now finally, on a final note, we just talk about the damages, things you're entitled to in a Carmack Amendment claim. Obviously the damaged goods, obviously the loss of the cargo, or the loss of everything altogether inside there. Let's say if everything gets stolen, everything goes, everything gets hidden. I don't know, it's not hidden. Everything gets stolen, or everything just disappears, or whatever the case is. And then also late delivery. Let's say late delivery causes some substantial damages that you could articulate and you could show. So, for instance, you're waiting for a delivery to come of all your furniture for your office, and you have a really huge meeting, and the carrier says guaranteed to get it there by Monday. They don't get it there until Thursday, and your meeting's out, and you lost all this money, and it's articulable, and it's replaceable, and it's discussable, and you could show it, it's objective. Okay, you're gonna get something back. So your three main recoveries are gonna be, the damaged goods, the total loss of any kind of goods, total loss of cargo, it's known as, and then late delivery. Those are gonna be your three ways of damages. Generally, when it comes to your damages, it's always market value. Always keep in mind, market value is definitely the way to go. You could get, depending on what it is, sometimes you get replacement value, sometimes you get wholesale value, but usually fair market value is where you go. So, all right, so that's it for today for the Carmack Amendment. I'm excited about, I like this because, I'm sorry, I like this, I forgot to tell you, because you get defense cost, you get your prevailing parties fees. That is very exciting, and that cures the problem of the American rule. The problem of the American rule is getting your defense costs and your attorney's fees. People do not want to get into contract litigation because the prospect of never getting your fees back and just fighting forever and just dumping money, and attorneys getting rich and your client's not making a penny. So that's a legitimate problem. This gives you your attorney's fees. I've seen in fee ledgers, I've seen between $350 and $440 an hour for this. I'm pretty sure I've seen $475 somewhere. So meaning that if you're an attorney and you win this on somebody and you get your fees back, I've seen as low as $350 and I've seen as high as, I want to say, $440 or $475. So you can make your money back, and it's a good thing. It's a good deal. I think it kind of incentivizes people to maybe take that step they wouldn't want to take otherwise. And that's essentially just where we are. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this, was enlightening for you people. Not that I want you to go sue everybody, but if you want to sue somebody, at least now you can make some money in your pocket and make it worth your time. All right, so that was it. Vinny Maletti, you know where we are. Leave a message down below in the comments. Email me, vmaletti@malettilaw.com. Go to the website, leave a message there. Leave a message on the blog. Leave a message on Facebook. Write a letter to my house. I'm all over the place. I'm just everywhere in the same time. And that's it. So look, yours in law, love, and lifts. This is Vinny Maletti here on behalf of Maletti Law. If you didn't subscribe. You didn't sign up to the newsletter, sign up to the newsletter. Do something, stay informed, stay connected, stay involved. And I will see you all later. Have a great night.